When people started saying, oh, it's DOGL, the first thing that comes to mind is like a dog.
Kay just came up with a fancy name for skip day.
Canceling a day of classes? We pay so much tuition.
This was a big scheme to trick people, and I was sure that there really wasn't such a thing as Day of Gracious Living. It was always referred to by its full and proper name of Day of Gracious Living.
A day that students had off from class.
This throwback tradition that Kalamazoo College students have had.
In my time, it wasn't always going to the beach because it wasn't organized, but you would get together with your group of friends and plan an activity for the day.
What I've heard of is the start of the Day of Gracious Living. A tornado came through Kalamazoo and did a lot of damage here in the community, and it was really devastating. There were a couple of deaths, and so students and the community decided we could be of help, and so students took the day off to live graciously.
As the college archivist, I now know the history of the Day of Gracious Living. In 1974, it was meant to be a day for actually faculty and students to just spend together and not have to be in the classroom, but leave kind of the winter stresses and stresses from the entire academic year. The Day of Gracious Living, which related to the motto that's on the plaque on the side of Trowbridge.
End of education is gracious living. Day of Gracious Living was an introduction to that. Take a day, live graciously, take a pause from education.
So the ability to live graciously with kindness and regard for other people, with a sense of selflessness.
We were always excited because we looked forward to it.
Most of the students said, oh, it's usually week 8 of the spring quarter, Wednesday. There's always a lot of rumors. It was going to be this day, but they weren't ready for this.
It should have been last Wednesday, and I'm still kind of salty that it wasn't last Wednesday.
I want to do it tomorrow, long weekend.
I think DOGL will be this Wednesday.
Frat.
It'll be one day.
There would be the whispers the day before, like, oh, I think tomorrow's going to be the Day of Gracious Living.
I know everyone's posting DOGL and DOGL on like everything.
I'm in trouble. Like, I can't go to the beach because my professors are like, well, it came too late in the year for you. I'm sorry.
No website to go check. In those days, you just heard the bells in the morning on a day you typically didn't, and that was Day of Gracious Living.
Ringing the bells on DOGL is one of the most exciting parts of the year.
Let's try and get rounds as clean as we can.
We have a special pattern that we will practice maybe twice a year, and we ring it just for DOGL. We just ring all 8 bells at the exact same time, and it's this fantastic crashing noise. People will be sitting out on the quad waiting to see what happens. The first indication for the whole campus that, hey, the next 24 hours are going to be a whole lot of fun. The day is finally here. DOGL is pretty new, the night of gracious living, the night where we all go out and eat on the quad before.
OSI had like a huge event in the quad, having like food and many games. The celebration started that night and people were just like having a lot of fun. And it was sunny too.
During the Day of Gracious Living on campus, there is what's called the Day of Gracious Giving. Information goes out to alumni that it's the Day of Gracious Living. Remember how great it was. This is the Day of Gracious Giving. Would love for you to make a gift to the college if you're so inclined. And people have really liked it. It's a way, I think, for alumni to feel like they're still connected in some way to the Day of Gracious Living, even though they're not here.
I woke up that morning. I got with my friends into the bus that would take us to South Haven.
The fun of it is not knowing. The fun of it is just having this sort of magical, unexpected gift of time that you can do with whatever you want.
And we're just walking in the beach. It was cold. The best part of DOGL is to spend time with friends. Scared of getting in the water because it was just so cold. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get hypothermia here.
And I like the idea that South Haven as a destination is a chance for students to be together but still be off campus and doing things they like.
The Day of Gracious Living is what makes K K.